Hello everyone, Justin here from Meridian Vocational College. If you'd like to turn to your learner's guide, I'm going to talk you through the first section about prepared vegetables, fruits, eggs and farinaceous dishes. Again, what to expect and what we'll be learning as we go through this unit. So we understand that from previous work that we've done in your commercial cookery, the importance of checking the food production requirements. Now, the best way to do that is on a standard recipe. So you might be thinking, why do we have a standard recipe? Standard recipes are very important. Okay, they can give us a deadline. Okay, so often when we get a recipe, we need to read the recipe so we look at the ingredients and we also read our method from the beginning all the way through to the end, because it will tell us there right at the beginning how long it takes for us to prepare the dish and also cooking time, and then how long it takes to actually present the dish to the customer. Okay, so standard recipes can show us deadlines. They can also tell us about the portion. So let's say that we're making a pasta dish. Most recipes will usually have a serving or portion of 2 or 4. Okay, so 4, they think about a family at home. It's important for us to start to learn how to read a recipe and how to also do calculations. What happens if I have 40 people that I need to cater for? I need to learn how to multiply and produce more. Okay, so that's very important about portion control and the quantities of how much will be produced. We also need to think about the equipment and the ingredients that we're using. So I'll talk a little bit more in detail about selecting our ingredients. We know that when we check to make sure and see what equipment we need, we always need to make sure that it's clean. We never just assume that equipment is clean, ready to go. Always think safety. Safety number one. We have to check and make note there of any special dietary requirements. Think about if you're making a gluten-free pasta and you're using gluten-free flour, then you have to be very careful about the other equipment that you touch, making sure that you're washing your hands, because we don't want to cross-contaminate. It goes from a dish being completely gluten-free to being contaminated with wheat flour. So we have to be very mindful if we're focusing on a recipe where there's a special dietary requirement, that we need to really follow that through. Also, we look at the presentation and the standard. Okay, so in a recipe there will often be different techniques that we need to use. Methods of cookery and also ways to present the dish. Now let's look at selecting different ingredients. So preparing eggs, vegetables, fruits and farinaceous dishes, I find that a big part of being a chef is actually being able to select and understand different ingredients and how they work and the flavor that they have. So what I really always try to do and encourage students is understand and get to know at least 10 different herbs. Okay, so parsley, basil, rosemary, mint, coriander, sage, okay, just to name a few. Okay, so these different herbs, when you come to the end of your Certificate 3 in Commercial Cookery, you should be able to confidently go into, if chef asks you, Justin, go into the cool room and grab some sage. You should be able to go in there and be able to look at it or have a smell and then recognize that, yes, this is sage, this is what chef wanted. Okay, so selecting different and identifying different ingredients is such a big important part of being a chef. Okay, so when we come to look at different eggs, we know that we use chicken eggs, but we also use goose eggs and quail eggs. Again, these are used for different dishes. Okay, in the Asian community, if you go down to Chinatown, you're going to be seeing quail eggs there. Okay, and they're used in soups and different rice dishes. Okay, really nice flavor, much smaller. Identifying and selecting different types of fruits. So we know, and this also links into checking for quality. If I focus on a cuisine like Italian cuisine, this is simple food but using quality fresh ingredients. So if I go to the local market, let's say I go to the Adelaide Central Market and I'm looking for some beautiful vine-ripened tomatoes. I want to go there and I need to have an understanding of what exactly I'm looking for. Okay, so I want them to look really nice and red, great color, first of all, and the smell. So vine-ripened has a really unique fresh smell. Often when you go to the supermarket, unfortunately, fruit and vegetables that you see there on the shelf has been there for 6 or 7 months in storage. When you go to the local farmers market, if you go to the Adelaide Central Market, that produce is coming direct from the producers themselves. Okay, so we're so lucky here in South Australia. We have such a fantastic variety of fruits and vegetables available to us. If you go to the Adelaide Hills, you can get pears, you can get apples. If you go to further down north, if you go to Virginia, we have a lot of beautiful places there you can get lovely grapes. If you go to, again, back toward the Adelaide Hills, if you head down toward Wollonga, we have beautiful fresh figs, you can get almonds. Okay, a lot of people don't know 80 to 90% of the almonds that we get in Australia are actually coming from South Australia. They're coming from Wollonga and they're also coming from the Riverland region. We are really so spoiled here for our produce, okay? Not just our fruits and vegetables, but also the amazing seafood that we have as well, and also beef and pork as well coming locally here in South Australia. So I think being able to select and identify different ingredients will really help you as you go through this unit. You'll be able to recognize from 3 or 4 weeks ago an ingredient that you weren't familiar with, okay? And I'm going to be showing you as we go through in the next video about, for example, the many different varieties of rices, okay? So we're going to be making a mushroom arancini, okay? Arancini is made with risotto, but we need to be able to go to the dry store and select the correct rice to use. Okay, so you might be thinking, I haven't made mushroom arancini before, so I'm not familiar. Okay, so this is the time to ask questions and do your own research at home as well. Okay, so we always use what's called arborio, which is a short grain rice, and it has a starch on there. Often, if let's say we're doing a Indian style dish and we want a very nice light fluffy rice, we might use basmati or jasmine rice. Often what we do, we put that rice in a bowl and we soak it there for 10 minutes in cold water. Then under running water we want to wash off until the water runs clear. We're washing off some what's called talc, which is a starch. But for the example of the risotto, we actually want to have that starchy, creamy, because it helps with the consistency.